We're live. What's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of QuickMail.io. Best cold email software ever.
And this is Jack from salesbread.com. Arigato gozaimashita. I'm in my very zen office right now. And yeah, SalesBread, we get you appointments, bro.
Yeah, that's right. And for those who can't see us, the lucky one hearing us straight from inside their car, Jack is changing his Zoom background to some awesome Japanese
this is no
house.
Zoom background going on. This is no green screen. I'm legit photo.
Well, that sounds like you're trying to sell me SEO products, right?
Easy on the SEOs. They
right. It's too easy to bash. I'm sorry, guys. There are some legit ones around. So
but you probably use outreach to get clients, not SEO. So
yeah, that's right. And I think it's just the low-hanging fruits, honestly. And that's a problem a lot of people have. So I think it's like every phase in the industry goes through ups and downs.
That's all gravy, baby. So what we're going to do this episode, I asked Jeremy a weird question. I said, you have a gun to your head. You must get 100% reply rate or else. What would you do in this outreach campaign? And I say outreach specifically because I'm not going to limit us just to cold email. If a gun's to my head, you can be damn skippy sure that I'm going to try all the options to my disposal.
Right. So you have to think, you don't leave me a lot of choice. I would have loved that you gave me the choice of like, you have to reach like 50% reply rate, but because you're going for 100, that's going to be terrible. I'm going to have to make sure, first of all, that the email won't bounce if I'm contacting through email, or the phone number is actually correct if, I'm contacting through phone. Or even better, I know the person and I know they will reply to me. Like, please help me, send me 3 Bitcoins, whatever.
Yeah. So the stakes are as follows. They are basically 10 third-degree connections.
You bastard.
That are, let's just say, marketing directors in North America.
Okay. I'm game.
You have to get a reply. The reply can be anything, but you need a reply from all 10 of them, or else you know what? You'll be swimming with the sharks. Whatever.
Am I swimming with the shark or whatever? Okay. So, okay. Can I then give you your 10 one?
No. We have this. Oh,
we have the same? Okay.
Yeah, we should have the same. I mean, I'm just really curious how you'd go about it if like there is no option, you need it,
Oh yeah. First thing is I heavily rely on my network one way or another because it's probably the sure way. So I'm going to see if this is third level connection. I'm going to see who is between me and them. That's definitely the thing I will do. And I will, assuming I can still reach out to any number of people as soon as when I reach out to my target audience, then they're going to reply for sure. Then I think I will probably go and check who is in between and see how I can reach out to them. That's the first thing, if I can. Maybe I don't have all 10. Maybe I have like 5, 6, maybe even 3 only. And then I'll ask, for a warm introduction in exchange of whatever I know my second connection needs. So, for example, Jack,
$10,000.
Well, I think you can get away with less. Like, look, Jack, if I say, Jack, can you make me an intro with this marketing director in America? In exchange, I'm flying you over to Tokyo and the best sushi restaurant is on me. It's like, it's not going to cost me 10 grand. That's for sure. It's going to cost me less. Right. But so in your view, the value is pretty huge, right?
But yeah, so this is simple. So basically just approach enough people that know that person and bribe them to give you an introduction.
Yeah, and in theory, you should know what the bribe is, depending on the people you're contacting, because they're already in your network. If you curate your network properly, you know what they need. Like, I know Jack will need sushi and ramen, so.
Yeah, so I had the same approach. Like, number one, get somebody who knows them, get their brother, get their neighbor, get their boss, get their something who's
like
very
that.
much in their world, and figure out what it would take to get them to say, hey, listen, I got Jack CC'd here. This is, ideal scenario. I got Jack CC'd here. You gotta trust me on this. Go ahead and reply to him. He's got, I mean, if there's a gun to my head, I'm going to put him on some good stuff, right? He's going to cut off his left arm and give it to you because he's that kind of guy or whatever. But that's the idea.
I guess. Yeah. Use your network. That's a good one. But I guess if we extend the original, mention that I had about knowing you, Jack, I know that, offering you a trip to Tokyo with, a good restaurant on me will definitely get your attention.
No, only if it's from someone I know. If like some random person said that to me, I'd say like, oh, that's creepy, dude.
Okay, that's a good question. Of course, there is always a limit to which one it is creepy, but let's say one thing. I know like one person who is pretty famous on YouTube was making his video, and he was saying like, hey, by the way, we're hiring designers, whatever. So if you know a really good designer, hit me up. And so I guess I could use this angle is like, look, I know the best. I got 3 awesome designers that, I'm willing to, to put you in contact with warm introduction, because I've been watching your video. I really love your videos, and, I believe in what you're doing. The only thing I'm asking in exchange is XYZ. Would that work?
Why would you say the last part if you needed 100% reply?
That's true. If I need 100% reply, I don't need to sell him anything.
Yeah, exactly. You could just be like, can I shoot them over to you? Can I share their LinkedIn profiles? They're ready to work right now. Right. So
I guess it will be like personalization to some extent. That's probably the second thing. So first thing would be network, whether it's your network or indirect network, like you say, contacting their boss, contacting, someone else that you have a leverage on, or finding a bit more about that person and then leveraging on what that person really wants,
I have a better idea. So again, if we can go multi-channel and I have to get a reply, I might say, okay, find that person's boss, or basically find 20 people that know this person very well, coworkers, boss, old previous co-founder, whatever, everybody that is in their phone already, right? And what I would probably do is say like, figure out a very good reason why they'd want to set up a conference call together. So imagine if it's like, hey, I know Joe Schmo's hiring a designer. I can't get through to him. He's busy. But I have 2 designers right now that used to work for, Forbes and, Inc. And they're looking for a job. It sounds right up the alley. Can you do me a favor? Just, set up a quick call together with you and I, since we're connected, and I'll get that over to him. That'd probably be the hardest thing to turn down, is like an incoming call from someone and like, hopefully. If your boss is calling you, you're going to pick it up, and that's 100%. That would be the reply, I suppose, if we can go phones. We're getting a little bit fantasy world.
Well, if you go that direction, I'll be paying a hacker to impersonate some other people inbox.
Oh yeah, sure. That's a great idea.
Yeah, but then it's like, kind of like black hats, kind of thing. I'm not even sure this is black hat. This is straight illegal, most likely. But hey, you wanted to go wild on this.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's brilliant. I actually like the creativity here.
How about, I love those type of hypothetical question, because that gets us thinking outside the box. So how about the other thing, Jack, is like, if now it's my turn to get the gun. So I got my gun on your head, and I say, I don't ask you to get 100%. I'm asking you to get at least 60%. Okay. I'm nicer with you, but here's the trick. They have to offer you something that you value, something of value to you.
Such as,
I don't know, could be, leads, could be, them getting a client for you. It could be them introducing you to someone else, something that you value. Could be, a free delivery from Japan, whatever. Clients works, yeah.
Well, then I would be very picky with the targeting because not everybody has something of value to me. Very few people do.
I got so many things, dude, you know.
No, I mean, look, I like people, but I mean,
I'm sure there's
really
something of value in everyone. Anyway, we could find something.
Sorry, I'm thinking like business value. Maybe
Oh,
that's
okay,
not
okay.
what you had in mind.
Yeah, I mean, something you value. It doesn't necessarily have to be business. Like for me, it'll be like, you know, a sharp knife from Japan, you know, some stuff like that. That'd still be like something I value, right?
I think this background is like keep bringing you back to Japanese stuff.
That's my stuff.
Yeah. Anyways,
either that or the fact they closed the border and I couldn't go this year. I'm like so mad.
Right now, there's a flight for like under $500 round trip to the Haneda airport. I know. Anyways, what's going on? What I would probably do is I would start again with the network because that's going to be the most surefire way to get a reply.
Right.
But then what would need to be changed is the ask, obviously. Yep. What I'm thinking for this could be, assuming that let's pick, you know, I want them to pay me to do a done for you package.
Okay.
Right. So they would have to be hungry for that kind of service anyways. Can I get specific with the list here?
Sure, for sure.
Okay, right. So
I'm the one holding the gun. You that's okay. You got my permission.
And there's 10 people. I need 6 of them to pay me for a done for you lead gen package.
Right. And you contact 10.
I do my list magic and I make sure that I only grab 10 of the, let's say, hungriest prospects that really
How would you know that?
What I have.
How would you know that? Because that's the art of prospecting, right? Right there.
Very true. So again, if there's a gun to my head, I'm going to do enough research where essentially I see somebody send a tweet that's like, man, do we ever need help with an SDR? Like, or man, it wouldn't be nice to have somebody help book these appointments. I'm too busy. Like, I would just comb Twitter for the founder who was like just talking about what I do, but in a way that's like, I need this, and use that as a trigger. I mean, again, there's not going to be a lot of those folks, but if there's a gun to my head, I'm going to start there. There could be other sources for it. I'm thinking like people that engage with a particular LinkedIn post that can really
that's a good one.
Indicate that they are my kind of prospect. So I would do that.
What about people commenting on your posts? You know, or some
even better. My house list is the best place to start for that. So if I can get super greedy, I mean, then everybody knows Jack who's on my house list.
What about referrals? Asking your past clients, like, you know, do they know any?
Not bad. Not bad. A little bit risky if I had a gun to my head. Because I hope they really did the right research. I mean,
please tell me you were not lying to me when you say, you know, my job was amazing.
Yeah, they may be saying like, oh yeah, I got another friend who runs like sales. He may want, but if it's not something that they are ready to buy, then it's a mistake. It's better to
that's a good point.
You know, find out who's seeking this right now. There's also I'm kind of playing around with ZoomInfo has intent data that it's very expensive. It's like somebody I know is paying like 40 grand a year for it, but basically it'll tell you what companies are searching for what. So, you know, I think they have like search traffic or opt-in third-party stuff, and that's probably a second best place to go.
Not bad.
But I mean, really what I could do, again, if there's a gun to my head, I could probably pay somebody to like test the waters first and just cold call the offices at 1,000 companies that might need me and just ask if they already have an agency they work with, or if And they might be able to find out some intel that's like, oh, okay, we found out that these 15 companies actually they knew what I was talking about, and they were actually kind of curious. They let me pitch a little bit. So that account is probably like more ready.
What about creating a webinar and then seeing whoever raised their hands? Guys, I got a gun to my head. It's like you see the guy on the side.
That's
please,
awesome.
Please,
yeah.
who wants it? Please raise your hand.
What would you do there? What would you do there?
Well, I'll pitch, basically.
Well, would you use cold outreach to fill seats for this webinar? Is that what you're saying?
I'd probably use paid ads. Because then, I'll probably think, I'll try to figure out.
Outbound though. It's not quite. Well,
like an example will be like whoever liked, quick mail or some stuff like that, because it's an outbound, tool. And then I will reach out or like put some advertisement for like, hey, want to know the secret of the cold outbound, it's, the next 24 hours, something like that. And I'll get them to my funnel. But one thing I was thinking as I was laying out the rule for the game is I probably, if I had a gun to my head, right, and I need to do this thing, I wouldn't try to sell. Maybe that's a mistake. I wouldn't try to sell what I already have and no sales, like quick mail, for example. But I would actually try to find people who have too much of one thing, they don't value as much, and need something else, then they value more. So for example, it's a basic of trading, basically. A country has a lot of banana, another country has a lot of, iron. And because they got so much iron, they value it less than banana they don't have. And so therefore, that's when the exchange happen. And I will, for example, contact you. Imagine, you want, what would you want? Like good data, for example. Sorry? Was that?
N95 masks or something. I remember.
Okay, for example, and then the people producing it may actually want something that you have to offer. And then I will go to you and I will say, hey, do you want this? I can give you that in exchange. And then if you have too many of them, it's like, hey, why not? Yeah, that sounds good. That could be like tickets to a game, for example, those sort of thing. And then the people who are selling you the tickets to the game, they may want something like, something cool. Maybe they happen to be in, the outreach game, and they say like, hey, would you like a free consultancy call with Jack, who's like one of the best, cold outreach person out there. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great. We're trying to, do outreach and get it more done. And then you get the ticket, he gets the stuff. And that's how I would probably do it. So I'll do it by pair of two.
What would you gain?
Well, my life. I got a gun to my head.
No.
But hey, jokes aside.
You had to get something.
Well, jokes aside, I do get something. And now, I now did you a favor. And I did that other person a favor. And now you're sort of like in debt in my network. You know that I'm the guy who can get you what you need. And obviously, if you put
fills the getting something in exchange. You were just a matchmaker who left without an extra.
Well, I did get what you needed for, and that goes through me. So, okay, maybe I receive a bullet, but maybe not. Depends on the rules, right?
That is true.
I end up at a hospital, right?
Hey, either way.
Kind of grim.
Either way, interesting concept. I still would like you to walk away with something, maybe a cut of the deal. Just be like, hey, it's super simple. I'll connect you guys.
Oh, well, I could ask for the ticket. Like I could ask for one more ticket. Like instead of like getting you, or maybe you and your wife, maybe I get 3 tickets, or maybe 4, me and my wife, And so I get to hang out a little bit more with you as well, which is always cool. That's something I gain. And for the other guy, I could maybe sit on a call where you're actually coaching the other guy. So I learn as well at the same time. So I get a little bit of both. So that's part of what you're saying by the cut. And I guess if you extrapolate this idea to narrow it into what you're offering, then you're connecting more people into your own industry. And then you become the sort of like central hub of your industry. I guess that could be a cool thing. And that could be like, you become an agent for, a publisher, if this is in a book industry, whatever, What do you make of this? Oh, I think your audio cut a second. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that would probably get you there. Because I think the important thing is you're identifying companies that really need something. That whenever you have that scenario, you approach them with a bleeding neck, then it's kind of easier. I will say one last thing. It's like, if you allowed me to build the list completely, right? I would probably sell a hosting service. Am I cutting out?
No, it's so good.
Okay. I would probably sell a hosting service, Jeremy. And
Tell
I
me
would
why.
only pitch to verified emails and accepted LinkedIn people that just crashed. I feel like that would have a very strong response rate if their app just went down and I'm selling hosting and I know that, and reaching out, that's a bleeding neck problem for that company. And I feel like that would do exceedingly well, probably close to 60%, at least reply rate. Maybe not close rate. That would be a little bit tricky.
Yeah, because it's difficult to change. In fact, mind you, I'm actually thinking of changing website because I've been introduced to a new technology for hosting website that is like 10 times even more faster than the current WordPress technology and stuff. So that is something that gets me changing. And we are about to change that to, it's like, it's not marginally better. It's like amazingly better. It's like a world difference. And so it didn't require my host to crash, but something along came in and it's like so much fast, such massive improvement. I can't ignore it. That's basically the idea.
In this scenario, you could almost make up this like cutting edge thing,
Yeah.
I think we came up with some less than common approaches to getting this like gun to
That's
the head.
funny how we get creative when we got the gun on our head, right?
On the line. Exactly right. Okay.
All right.
Well,
hey, if the listener has any idea, then send us like podcast@quickmail.io. I'll be curious to hear what you would do. And in fact, if you want to play the game and in a more realistic scenario, then
not too realistic.
Well, okay, not too realistic, but pick your existing list right now. And if Jack and I had a gun pointing to your head and say, pick 10 people in your list and make sure you got 50% reply rate, how would you go about it? And I think that'll be a fantastic exercise and maybe you become creative suddenly.
Look at that. All right. I like the challenge. Let us know what you do. Podcast@quickmail.io. Email us your thoughts. That would be really fun. Jeremy, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks for the catch, Jack. That was fun.
Cool. Awesome.